Welcome back, guys. So hopefully this week I would not have the camera problem again. Last video was only like 2 minutes or so, so most of it was damaged and unrecoverable, so that is lost. But anyway, for this week, the charger I have not received yet, so it's back to some whatever loose in or so most of it, whatever I couldn't take off, I could actually more or less do it straight away. And plus last week I had a visitor. My brother from Dubai came back from his annual annual holiday, and was fortunate enough. I still have some couple of volts left, and took the car out for a spin. So that's so much, that's all the action I've got. And now to get back to the work, whatever I've done so far is to reconnect all the windscreen system, where I am slowly rebuilding back there you go, the washer reservoir. So putting back the plugs, change all the whatever new piece of pipe for it from my local fish shop. I donated some of it, and of course there used to be a sensor, a water level sensor at the back here, which have trouble leaking and so on. So what I've simple get a 35mm rubber plug, and plug it straight away here, so that would test it with water, so there is no leaking and whatsoever. So minus the sensor is okay with me. So anyway, I'm going to fix this back right about here, and that should put the whole windscreen washer back in action, plus some wipers, and all that. So you could see the washer tank is actually finally installed, but left out there's actually the other side one, which is the flow tank, or the reserve tank for the radiator, which no longer used. So that I would separate it and leave it at home. So this would go to the back. Here is the connection that goes up to the bonnet cover, and underneath the bonnet cover is where all the outlets are all in. So all of that is being fixed. Both of this have some spray outlets now, plus the windscreen, and also the wipers. Still need to sort out this little hole here, so that could be now. For now, other than covering that two little nagging hole here, this hole is not covered yet. That one I would not even bother about it. So what I think I might be up to is to add a little bit wind or air, cooling air, as the car is moving. I hope to scoop some or divert some part of the moving air into the stator component here, where normally the air goes in from here. This is where I would target it, number one. And if I could manage the second one, which I think I should, I will find it and tunnel it and channel it just underneath the cooling or the heat sink for the controller, which is about here. So you could see I would channel the air just underneath the so more air, plus it is sort of free since car is moving. It's surplus of air, so I just need to divert it hopefully to cool down a little bit on the motor and also on the controller, which is a concern for me. So what I have down here is I've actually took some 2 mils stainless steel, bent it in shape. The holes correspond to some of the standard holes which is available on the cross member. I've actually done 2 sides. This is one of them. The other one I have actually more or less test fitted it in the car, which looks something like sorry about the angle, going upside down now, starting to. So this is where the second one is in, and I've actually more or less mounted it on. So that's the angle, and what I plan to do is to get some cheapest hose as possible. Then again, it must be weatherproof to go through here, and that should pick up some whatever air there is. So from the front view, it's not visible at all. Unless you go really down, you could actually see it there. So that would be out of view. So let's get some hoses now. Time to do some shopping. So most of you might recognize what is this. This is actually a what do you call, the water discharge hose for most washing machines. So I got a good length of it, might be about 15 bucks. So this is what I plan to do, use it for the sort of air duct, and it's of course waterproof. So I've chopped off both of it, making possible now I have 2 ends. So this one, the larger one, would be a good candidate for the air intake for the motor. Wouldn't mind having extra cooling air for the motor. This one, the smaller one, might be just a good candidate for the cooling sink. So we'll try this, fix it on, see how it reacts. But I think we could only test it out once I have the charger and the car is drivable again, you know. Both of it is more or less test fitted in here. So from underneath the car you could spot a little if I could flying a black one, so it becomes invisible, but that's what the color I've got. No worries about the colors. The biggest hook would be for the motor. That one would be for the controller. So from inside view, with the more or less the layout. The layout would be more or less like this. Let's see, from here it's much easier. From here, from there, you could see the inlet coming up from here. So that would go up from here all the way, and I could still tilt up my control board for maintenance and whatever without any problem. So the air goes in here and blows straight away to cool the whole whole what do you call the whole cooling fin for the controller, which the controller sits on. So that should act to cool down more properly the heat sink. And from the other side of it, the larger intake would go just right underneath the cross member, come out here, and it could actually fit some air into here. I might just shorten it and just blow it directly into here, which you know, so I could actually leave it something like this, have a small opening for this port and another opening for that port. So that way I could have some, I don't know, I might just start with one and see how it goes from there. So it's after all free air, which doesn't cost me anything. So with this, I'm still not done with this. In order to fit it well, make it steady, I plan to get the whole thing in here, fit it down. Perhaps some silicone glue should settle the whole thing in and permanently. Plus I still like to you know, come up with sort of a filtering system which could reduce the moisture or dust that would that come in here. So it might suffer a little bit on the air volume, but clean air would be very much welcome down here. So this is what I plan to use for the filter. There's some left behind foams, but then in almost some round shape, and I'll stuff it in once I've this one should go in the I'm hoping that this one would go all the way in for the bigger one for the motor side. So this should take away some moisture. Dust is of course it can do, but of course with some moisture, you know, during some the whole idea is to, you know, to have this sort of packing. But of course stuff it in. This would be pushed perhaps to maybe to the first 6 inches in, and that should provide some at least some you know, filtration for the air, moisture, dust and whatsoever, you know. So make another second one for so let's try and see if this works. I'm hoping this will work. So I've removed all of the parts from the car. I'm ready to seal or set them in permanently in the stainless steel holder with some leftover silicone glue, which I have some left. So what I did is actually, if you could see, I think you could see it, I've masked it with a masking tape, so nothing would hopefully nothing would drip out. I'll leave it there. Same case with the other one, so same thing here. I've more or less masked it up, so the hopefully the silicone glue would stay inside, and the whole thing could set in and make a good what do you call good solid contact. That should do the trick for one of them. Let's try the second one, and hopefully I'll get some better result than the first one. Trying to squeeze as much as possible into the seams, but you know, things not always will go the way that I want it to. Alright, so that should do the trick. So I will leave it here, hopefully to dry it in a couple of days. It might take a couple of days before the whole thing really cure in. So I'll leave it here. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope to see you guys next week, if I could think of something else to do, something more interesting than all this, while still waiting for the charger to come in. Still no charger yet. So take care, guys. I'll see you guys next week then.